All right, good evening, everyone. I believe there's about 75 of us here already, so I'm sure quite a few other people will be coming in. But my name is Jacques Laurent. I'm an entrepreneur. Also work with the NAACP in my county in Gwinnett. I'm the treasurer, and I'm also the technology services director for Funder One. So today, I want to welcome you to our monthly meeting with for Funder One for all our members. And as such, we noted the last meeting that we shortened the length of the meeting to about hour and a half. So we'll be going on until about 7:30 to, in essence, to you have more time on Sundays with your family and to catch the football games. So the thing that I want to share with you is that today's meeting is to talk about two things. We have two announcements. First, we're going to introduce Dr. Casual Pete Pitts in our midst, and I'll allow our COO and himself to introduce themselves. And we're also announcing the transition from UBETS to Fundex Coin. Um, we got a large of your chat questions and subsequent ones. We answered all the ones as much as possible through the meeting last time, and also through personal interaction with some of you to try to resolve some of your issues. But once again, a lot of the questions had to do with funding, getting your projects going. A lot of questions. Some of you wanted to know how to get involved, how to use Binance and different things. So as we go through this meeting, we're gonna give more answers as the questions come through. So we're gonna ask you, keep sending your questions to the chat, and we'll keep addressing them as much as possible. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to our Chief Executive Officer, who is Seth Celestin, our Chief Operating Officer, I'm sorry. Along with that, you will have Dr. Casual Pitts and you have Matthew Daniel, our Marketing Director, as the team on the panel today. So with you now, Seth Celestin.
Good evening, everybody. Tonight is a very good night for us because Jacques just presented. We have two important things that we have to talk about. Now, before we do that, as usual, I will bring up a word of prayer for us to for us to start. We're going to pray now. Father God, we thank you for favor. We thank you for wisdom. We thank you for opportunities. We thank you for your grace. We thank you for your love for us. In Jesus' name, amen. Now, again, we have Matthew Daniel, who is the marketing director, and he's going to talk to us right now. And after that, for him to introduce Dr. Pitts. Mr. Daniel, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us on another Sunday here. We always appreciate your time. And this one was a little bit of a late notice. We normally give you guys at least 2 weeks in advance. So for those that have shown up, we really appreciate it. Again, we'll try to keep this one short and sweet for you guys. But again, we have a lot of new announcements that have taken place. We had some additions to the team, some synergies with a partnership and a relationship with a very, very important individual to us and businesses that he's running himself that can help our members as well. So it's important for us to get those things underway. So we didn't want to wait to another week or two to put this out here. So we wanted to get this going for everybody. So again, for those that don't know me, my name is Matthew Daniel. I'm acting as the marketing director with Funder One Capital. I will be making a little bit more deep dive into what exactly is going on with our UBETS coin and our new Fundex coin. I'll tell you exactly what and how we've gotten to where we are today in regards to that. So a lot of good things coming on there. But first, I would like to do a proper introduction to a new member of the family, Dr. Casual Pitts. For those that aren't familiar with Mr. Pitts, he's out of the Georgia area. He's a world-renowned entrepreneur. He is well known for growing successful companies in a short amount of time. That's his expertise that he's always done. He's an owner of 11 companies, and he's now partnering with Funder One to help build its value and his business model in the real estate market. Mr. Pitts does have experience in both working with and many investors in shining industries and in real estate. He's a true believer that God's put him on here on earth to help people. So a lot of the same values fall into suit with what we believe in. His main focus is also building legacies for families. Can't say it any better than, he's actually says it sometimes better than me. You can't say it any better than that. There's nothing more important than building a wealth or a legacy for your family. And that's what Funder One's doing. Mr. Pitts is doing that with his businesses on his side as well. And again, some synergies there where we can unite them and really expand upon everybody that's following us and is a member with us currently. So Mr. Pitts is a huge stepping stone for taking us into the next step that we've already started. And without say, again, I really wanted to thank you, Mr. Pitts, for joining us on this call. And I also wanted to allow Dr. Casual Pitts to do an introduction on one of his companies that you guys will be hearing about. That again, you guys can get involved with as well, and how we're going to tie in both our membership package into his membership package. So without that, thank you very much again for joining us, and I will allow you to share with us. And if anything I missed, Mr. Pitts, please do add. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for your time. I appreciate you guys so much. Again, thank you back. I want to give it back to Sid and Daniel as well. Just want to say thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to be here. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen if I can get that capability. Dan, you did a great job. You already know I don't like to boast about myself. So I want to get right into the meat and potatoes because I know we're on everybody's time. So access. Okay, here we go. All right, you guys, get started here. All right, so hopefully everybody can see my screen. If so, then we're going to go ahead and get started. So the name of the company, one of the companies that I currently run right now is called Ultimate Discount Services Incorporated. So with this company, just giving you guys a small background, started the company about 6 years ago. And with this company, we teach the consumer how to spend, save, invest money, all while helping them build credit at the same time. Currently, right now, our membership presence is in 5 states. Our opportunity presence is in 3 states. However, our membership is allocated all over the world. So we do have members in all 50 states. Okay. By 2025, we will be global. So here are just a few problems in America that we're facing today. Everybody owns a smartphone. What you probably didn't know is that 72% of Americans from purchasing that phone, they actually drop that cell phone within 10 days from purchase. Okay. And we all know how medical insurance has taken an effect on the world, talking about 55% 8 years ago to 80% today. And then we all know about credit, right? We know a lot of individuals, 77 million Americans, or at least 35% of adults who have a credit file have a report that's in collection, okay? And then we know everybody owns owns a vehicle. 25 to 50 million traffic tickets are issued each year, and that's per state. So with these particular issues and problems that we're facing, what's the solution? And this is where UDS came in at. We've created that solution to help the consumer better prepare for these unforeseen incidents that we literally have no control over. We actually help the consumer, again, save money and reinvest that money into assets to keep wealth into their families. So we do that by a membership, right? So with this membership, it gives you 18 benefits that gives you access to 65% reimbursement if any of these mishaps happen. So this is what our original card looks like. And what we're going to be doing with our partnership with Funder One is that now we're going to be able to create a white labeling program where we're giving all 18 of these benefits into now the UBETS Funder One membership. So this is where you're going to get 65% reimbursement on your auto deductible, traffic violations, tollway violations, cell phone deductible, 55% reimbursement on accessories for your cell phone device or tablet device, 65% reimbursement on medical, dental, and vision copay, 50% reimbursement on prescription copays, 65% reimbursement on pet deductibles, parking violations, and home/renters deductible. And we also have a members comp program, an MD Live program, which a lot of individuals should be accustomed to now because of COVID. You no longer have to go to the urgent care of the doctor. With the MD Live, it actually pops up on your phone or on your laptop or desktop, and you're able to see the doctor currently right then and there. We also have a free credit repair program that's instilled as well, a solar program, which is going to be extremely beneficial for the Funder One program due to owning homes, right? A lot of you are going to start understanding the power of how solar can also help save you for your finances as well. And then we also give all of our members 1 gram of gold on an annual basis. And we just implemented a new service called the Cracked Windshield Reimbursement. So you get all 18 services that's bundled up into a membership, only $40 a month. So I know a lot of you may be asking, how does the membership work? Great question. It's really simple. When a mishap or a situation occurs, all you're gonna have to do is take a picture of your detailed receipt with your smartphone. You'll upload that receipt through the website, which is www.udsinc.us, and then you'll click on the claims button. From there, you'll fill out the proper information, hit submit, and in 30 business days, you will receive your up to 65% reimbursement on your debit card that we issue to all of our members. So that's kind of what it is in a nutshell, really short, sweet, and simple. Again, I just want to say thank you guys for giving me your time. Listen, I'm here for the long haul. So whatever questions that you guys may have about the membership side of it, Daniel and the team will definitely get those questions to me, and I will answer those for you guys. Other than that, I just want to say thank you guys. You guys will be seeing my face a lot more. Daniel, I'm giving it back to you.
Very good. Thank you very much again for your presentation and putting that together for us. And for you members out there that do want to know more, if we can, maybe send a chat text, Dr. Casual, on the main screen, and then we can share the link so people can learn a little bit more about that. For those that aren't up to speed on how to find the chat button, we'll put out an announcement so you can follow up exactly on how his services work. So again, a lot of synergies there. I mean, again, we're from all different perspectives. Dr. Casual Pitts has put together a lot of different services, again, trying to help people for unforeseen things. And, you know, obviously with Funder One, we're putting together a program to help individuals with their home, right? So again, eliminating the debt, and that's exactly what we're doing for folks right now. You know, and for you know, some of Dr. Casual Pitts members that are learning about what Funder One provides as a service and a process in the real estate, said if you wouldn't mind doing a 5-minute overview on what exactly Funder One is and exactly how we're helping people today.
Sure. Basically, Funder One is one of the major platform in cryptocurrency or blockchain that can actually tokenize any asset and create liquidity and eliminate the debt. Now, how do we do that? The client comes in with 10% of whatever amount the project is in cryptocurrency. And once that client has, or the member has the 10% in its wallet, is qualified. Now, once it's qualified, we can move the project to funding. And one of the main things that we require is an appraisal. We have to have an appraisal, we have to have an inspection. Once we have those two, of course, the client has to have a trust, because we only dealing with trust. And there's a perfect reason for that. The reason for that is, just like when you have a IRA or 401k account, you think the typical regular people think they have money in that account. whereas you do not have money. IRA and 401k is an asset that you purchase from your job. That's why when you ask to get some of your money, they tell you can only get a loan against the account because it's an asset, it's not money. That's IRA and 401ks. Now, if you were to try to use an IRA or 401k to purchase a house, for example, what the bank will do a non-recourse loan against that asset. In order for you to do a non-recourse loan against that asset, you have to have a family trust. That's it. Without the family trust, you cannot use that asset to get a non-recourse loan from the bank. That's the way IRS allow them to do that. You can leverage the asset, or which means you put the asset up, just like we do. You purchase the cryptocurrency, the same thing. You put the asset up, and then they can use a portion of it for you to purchase the house. That's the way. That's the way we do it. That's the way IRS allow us to do it. That's the way IRS allow the banks to use your 401k or your IRA account. That's what it is. So now the difference between us and your IRA and 401k account, they do give you a non-recourse loan, but at the same time, they also use the asset, you see, in case that you're in default. Versus in our platform, since we're using cryptocurrency also as an asset, when you come in with the 10%, and you sign the documents for us, we actually create with the assets or the document that you sign, you actually settle the account because we tokenize those documents. We create tokens with them. By creating tokens with those assets that you have, right? We tokenize, that's why we call it tokenization. We tokenize, we create the tokens, we sell the tokens in the market. Now we can settle the account. Versus the bank, when they give you a loan, they call it, they give you a debt. You see that? That's the difference between the crypto platform and the fiat platform. Whether you call it, you use your IRA for one account or you get a regular loan, that's the way the bank says it. They create a debt for you. Versus with us, we do not create debt. We eliminate the debt because we let you participate in the game. But the banks, they create the debt for you. They give you a debt so you can make payments. But at the same time, what they do, that debt that they create, they have to sell it to a third party, which is a collection agency. The collection agency is the one trying to collect every month from you. But the banks already got paid because they use the instruments from the time that you sign it, they endorse it. I didn't say sign, they endorse the instruments, pay to the owner of without recourse, ABC Bank. That's what the banks do. So they get the money, but they sell those papers or those instruments on the market pennies on the dollar, which means if you have a $100,000 loan, for example, they can sell it maybe for $50,000. They don't care because they already got the note, you see, that they create credit with, so they can create more loans. They can sell the paper for pennies on the dollar. But what we're saying is, instead of doing that, because now you have the collection agency that has access to a foreclosure clause on your property that can foreclose on you, you see? And whereas our documents, we say, okay, we eliminate the debt for you, which means you don't have that foreclosure clause with us because we let you participate in the game, which means once we tokenize the property, we eliminate the debt by paying the investor first. We pay the investors with the 30%, whatever agreement that we have with them, they get paid. And then the difference stay with the company. But now since we eliminate the debt and we have the balance in our books for the company itself that we can pay agents and everybody else, your debt is eliminated. You have a zero balance. You can enjoy life. Whereas with the bank, they keep it separate. They put it in a mortgage-backed security. They're making money in your name because you're the only one signing that instrument. The banks cannot sign it because you are the creator. That's why on the document they said you are the trustor. So now since you're the trustor and the bank said they create under the company, okay, or they use another company, they say that company is the trustee. And they use another company saying they are the beneficiary. Whereas with us, we say you have to create a trust, a family trust. One of the party in your family can be the trustor, which means a wife. The husband can be the trustee, and the kids can be the beneficiary, which means you have full control of the trust and the properties on that trust. You see that? So we help you create the liquidity and eliminate the debt for you because you're the trustor, you are the trustee, a member of your family is the trustee, and a member of your family is also the beneficiary. Whereas the bank say you are the trustor, the bank, they create another company, they say that company is the trustee, which means you don't have any power to do anything on the property. And then they use another third party as the beneficiary so they can kick you out whenever they feel like it. You see the difference? So now that's the difference between blockchain, because in blockchain, it's a peer-to-peer transaction. So that's why our platform is pretty simple. That's why we tell our people, our members, to read the information, find more information about how blockchain works. Blockchain is a peer-to-peer transaction, which means you go to the store, you purchase a shirt, you give $100 for the shirt, and they give you the shirt. It's that simple. Just like you purchase a house. When you purchase a house, if you don't sign the instruments for that entity or the bank will not give you the keys, which means a peer-to-peer. You sign the document, the instruments for them, you create the credit for them, they give you your keys. You purchase a car, it's the same thing. If you were to read those documents, everything is clear on that. They don't lie to you. You see, it's just that since we don't read our stuff until after we sign, so that's why we don't know what's going on within the banking industry. And that's exactly the same thing that they do. But by us doing blockchain the smart contract, there's a transparency. You can go to blockchain and see it. Just like the two that we already closed, you can actually go and see it in blockchain. You can see exactly how many tokens that was created on those properties, and you know how much that was made. You see, it's clear. But whereas at the bank, you cannot see what they did. The mortgage-backed security, you don't have access to it. And when they convert the note into credit, you don't have access to that. So you don't know what's going on. You don't know how much money is made, but they still claim that you owe. Now, since you cannot see what they actually did, you believe that you actually owe. And you don't know that you are the creators. You are the trustor, which means you are the creator of that instrument that they're using in the mortgage-backed securities. So that's why we try to make it plain for our members to understand what's going on between the two systems. That's why right now the banks, for over 100 years, they never changed anything about the mortgage industry. Now, mind you that the mortgage industry is at $3.6 trillion based on our funding plan, our pension plan. Why? Because the majority of pension plans all around the world invest their money in real estate. Why? Because that's where all the money is. The money is not in stock. Yes, they make money in stock. There's no question there. But the main thing is everybody has to have a place to stay. But not everybody has to have a stock. You see, like myself, I never bought stock. Why? Because I do not believe in stock. I believe in the four walls, which means a house, because that's where the money is. So that's why we talking like that to our clients, for them to understand what's going on behind the veil or behind the window or behind the walls. You see, at the bank, that's how they do it. Okay. So now we try to make it as clear as possible to our clients or members, but they need to understand that they try to think or try to read some more to get more information. Okay. So now our platform is basically simple. Right after we do that, and then we can move on to closing. Now, of course, we do exactly the same thing that the banks do. Why? Because the banks do not have money. The banks don't. The bank cannot use their money to give loans. We're talking about trillions of dollars. So what they do, they get a warehouse line of credit from investors. That's what they do. They have a warehouse line of credit from investors so they can fund those projects. It's the same thing that we do. We have credit, we have investors, we have credit from them for them to help us fund our projects. Now, without that line of credit, without the line of credit from the investors, the banks cannot do anything, just like ourselves. We are the same thing, we do the same thing. We do not reinvent the wheel, you see? So now, there's a couple of things that we really need to talk about is besides that, because once we do that, we get the funds, we close, the clients have the keys, and then they move on. Now they have to pay a membership fee. That's all they do. They're paying a membership fee for 5 years. Okay, 5 years, they pay the membership fee, and then it's over. But now, remember, when it comes to purchase, whatever you purchase, you own it from day one. Now, there's loans out there, yes. Let's say to Uncle Baba, if I borrow money from him, and I know that he doesn't leverage the paper. You see that? He doesn't leverage it. He keeps the paper that or the whatever note that I give him for him to give me, let's say a $10,000, for example. I owe that money to him because he doesn't leverage it. He doesn't go to the bank and create mortgage-backed security or any type of security with it. I owe him that money, so I had to pay him. But now the banks, they don't do regular loans. Now, if you have a private investor, they can give you loans, whereas they don't leverage them. Yes, they do give you loans. You see, if they don't create a security with it, they convert it into securities. Yes, it's a loan. You have to pay that. But when the banks give you a quote unquote a loan, it's not that, it's not a loan because you're the creator for them, right? And they convert it into a mortgage-backed security and they leverage it and make more money with it. And then they don't let you participate. That's why we come in, we say, okay, in blockchain, we can do that. We can actually convert that into tokens, and the tokens, we can use some of it to eliminate the debt for you, and the balance we keep, you see? And that's how we make our money. Now, we do not make money if the deal or the transaction doesn't close. That's how we make our money. And that's how the investors also make money. We have to close the transaction for them to get paid. That's how they get the 30%, because we have to bring it into blockchain. After we put it into blockchain, they can see how much or how many tokens that we create for that particular asset or property. And then they know the percentage, that the total amount that we're going to come to them, because we only deal with cryptocurrency and the investors use cash or dollars, you see? So we can only give the investors cryptocurrency. And that's why it is extremely important that we are structured in different exchanges so the investors can have access to those exchanges so they can clear or sell their coins or token. Without us having the platform with whether it's a Binance, P2P, okay? They cannot go anywhere and do anything. So we have to have those project or platforms open for the investors so they can go in and trade and sell their tokens that we give them, you see, so they can come back and reinvest the money into the system, you see. So all those things are important for us to understand so we know how the funds come about and also when the exit for the investor. Because the investor want to make sure that the exit is there before they put up their money. You see that? Now, this is very important because we're going to touch some more about that. And Mr. Daniel, we're going to go over what the transition that we have here between UBETS and Fundex and why that we have this transition. Mr. Daniel, you have the floor.
Very good. Thank you, Sid, always for giving us a nice overview and explanation on how everything works. Yeah, so obviously, so many of you have now heard it, that are part of our social groups, social media groups, as far as we're making a transition, not totally out of UBETs. We're keeping UBETs into the ecosystem for our members. Your UBETs are still valid. If you're a member holding your 10%, nothing affects you guys right now. Those, just to make that clear, because I know most of you that are on here are current members. So just hold on to those in your wallets from MyCryptoEX Bank. Once your project is closed, then those tokens will convert into Fundex coins. So they're not losing value. They're not being ignored. They're not being dismissed. Those UBETS coins are still 100% valid under that contract. So that's the very.
Do you see something that you can? Oops.
Oh, Sid, we can hear you, Sid. So yeah, so with that being said, for those that have just started trading with us, we wanted to let you know that, or let me be specific, that have started trading with us on Probit and P2P B2B. On both of those exchanges, we have frozen our accounts on there. And the reason that we froze them is that there was some unauthorized sell orders being placed on both Probit and P2P B2B. What that means is we are seeing some ridiculous amounts of UBETs being sold at a fraction, a 20th of a fraction of a cent. I mean, somebody was trying to maliciously disturb our value of our coin. And so we started an investigation. After the investigation, we discovered that our original contract was compromised through various methods of hacking and misuse. And with that being said, through the hack, again, they were maliciously dropping the value price of our coin, which we can't have that. So those were the very strong reasons why we froze our account, so we could stop that. After reviewing the situation with our investors and board members, the immediate solution for us to immediately get back on these two exchanges was to create a new contract and switch our coin that was compromised. So we wouldn't run into these issues ever again for our members, users, investors moving forward. We took the highest of standards, making sure that our developer is using top security. So something like this would never happen again on either exchange or off exchange or swapping of coins for any reason. So this is a good thing that this was caught way early on with the company. And the new coin that we're proud that we will be using moving forward is called Fundex, FUNDX. We've already begun the process. We've already been accepted and relisted with P2P B2B as of yesterday. So we're very proud of that. We've also started the process of doing the same with Probit. They're a little bit more tedious over there. We've been working diligently with those guys to get it completed over there. So we're just about done getting our coin listed on there. We just have to tighten up some agreements with them and have some full understandings on how we will be swapping over there. So stay tuned for that. We should have that announcement hopefully by the end of the week here, if not sooner. Again, the price of the coin, which was a big part of us working with these exchanges, is to keep it where it's at, so nobody's losing value. Again, we're over $300 right now being listed on the exchange. So we're very proud of that and working with our partners, our exchanges right now, and keeping the value there. So we're right back on track. And again, just to be clear, as far as our current members holding UBETs, again, that are waiting for the queue or waiting in the queue to be funded, again, we're sorry for the delay. After your project is funded, the swap to your existing UBETs will happen to Fundex. So right now, you guys don't have to do anything. Your 10% is still being held right where it needs to be. So with that being said, again, I wanted to thank everybody for your patience, to the members, users, investors, friends, everybody part of the Funder One umbrella. We are going right to the top. I'm telling you, we got all of our ducks more than in a row now. We're getting some amazing partners lined up with us. As you can see, Dr. Casual Pitts is a huge value add to the direction that we're heading. Last week, you guys heard from another one of our partners, Abi, which we are growing with his expertise in the blockchain, also with some of his investors as well. We are in discussions with many investors, guys. We're very close to getting those closed. One of the big pieces of the puzzle was to correct the exchange issue. Again, as said, was trying to clarify early on, a big piece of how our ecosystem works, you know, for investors is liquidity, right? And for us, creating the I call it the road to liquidity, the path to liquidity, we got to be on an exchange. This is 100% necessary, and you know, and we're on some very predominant ones. We were before the coin was compromised, so that was immediate for us to create that. To correct that issue. So now we're back on track there. Our investors that were sitting on the fence are very happy to see that quick turnaround. So now we're back on track to start engaging to get some of these deals closed, so we can push on to the next, you know, 20, 50, 100 homes that we have ready to work with you guys. So again, a lot of good things happening. You know, again, stay tuned. By the end of the week, we'll have some more updates with exchanges, investors, movement with Fundex, some new marketing, creating a secondary market, creating opportunities with Dr. Casual Pitts. And again, thank you for your time on Sunday. I can't wait to meet with you guys again. So I'll give it to, I guess, Jax, if we have anything that you want to discuss forward, or Mr. Said, if we had anything that we're missing. You know, let's see if we have any questions out there. I'd love to go over any, you know, 2 or 3 questions that's coming up. Please do bring me up to speed.
Okay, very good, Matthew. Thank you. One of the things that I really want to push on is because it's extremely important for our members. It's the closing time. Now, we understand that there has been some kind of delay, a lot of delays on the closing, yes. Now, when you have something like that happen to a large company like ourselves, and we have so many closings that we need to do, we have investors that are coming in with millions of dollars, and you have an issue like this here. People come in, we don't want to call it a hack, but they actually compromise the whole platform. Because like I can tell you, frankly, the first one on Probit, they hack or they compromise over 45,000 new bets. 45,000 new bets at that time, 45,000, it was at $305. So we're talking about over $13 million we would have to pay to those people that compromise the company, you see? So 45 times 305 give us roughly $13.7 million. And Probit, on the other hand, which is the exchange, they say, okay, though we have over 100 members that purchase those unauthorized UBETs for 45,000. So they're saying their position, and they want to make sure that their people recovered every penny that they invested. Remember, they purchased those unauthorized UBETs over $45,000 worth. They bought the coin at pennies on the dollar from whoever that is. And then we had to carry this debt, or we had to pay out $13.7 million. So as a company, it wouldn't work for us, not only for us as a company, but for you as members, because you will put a big ding in your pockets, which means if the person or those people sell or sold those coins at pennies on the dollar, and we have the price at $305 for that day, which means what you have in your wallet will have no value. So we had to make a choice, whether we go and try to compensate that exchange, because the change is just like the Federal Reserve System, right? Should we compensate them or froze the account and move on? You see? So we were into a rock and a hard place. Now we spoke with our attorneys and our board. The best thing to do was to froze everything. That's why Probit, until today, we're still discussing how we can compensate those people based on what they purchased. Because if they purchase it at 13 cents on a dollar, and the value on that day was $305, doesn't make sense to us, right? So we can, what we're saying as a company, that we can pay them based on the 13 cents that they purchase it at, which means we can give them value at that price. We cannot give them value at the $305 because they didn't purchase from us at 13 cents. You see, somebody put those unauthorized U-bets in the platform and they purchased from there, not from us. So we say we're not going to give them the $305 value, but we can give them the 13 cents value, which we're going to give them the certain amount, because some of them, they purchase a percentage of one U-bet, because the one U-bet was at 305, and they purchased at 13 cents. You see that? So we had to make a decision there. Now, right after we made the decision to freeze that account with that exchange, 2 weeks later, we got involved or got listed with P2P. We saw again somebody else, okay, show that they have 1,000 U-bets in P2P. They did the same thing. Now we had to sit back and say, hey, what's going on here? And now we asked P2P to do verify the accounts to see where that came from. But of course, just like anything else, anytime you have something like that, you have to check the house first. When P2P checked the house, which means our platform, they found out that it has something to do with the platform, unfortunately. So we had to make a decision. Okay, the board and attorney have to make a decision to say, okay, we have to first eliminate that person, right? And second, and create or mint another token or coin. And that's exactly what we did. And that's why, like Matthew just explained to you, that nobody on the platform will lose a penny, because what you have is what you have in your wallet. All of you guys are registered in My Crypto EX Bank. That's why you create your wallet. So everything is clear there. You don't have any issues. What we're going to do, we're using the Findex right now. That's the coin that we're using to move forward for all our members and everybody else. And then we're going to create a bridge for you guys after you fund your project to come in. As we mentioned, you'll be able to use your coin. You see, it's that simple. So there's nothing to worry about. What you have is what you have. It's not going anywhere. It's just that we had to make a drastic decision. Now, mind you, as we did all that, the investors stayed on the sideline, right? Waiting for us to clear this mess before they can come back and do what they're supposed to do, or what they promised, or what they signed to do with us. So this is something extremely, I mean, I don't know how to say it. Within the last month and a half, me, Matt Daniel, Mr. Daniel, and the rest of the crew, that's all we've been working on. That's why I was saying for the past 2 meetings, please engage with the local person that we assign to you for you to have any information. We even go as far as having the funders, the assistant funders, to contact the members that are ready to close or get ready to close, so they can get in touch with them because it was almost impossible to reach me because me and Mr. Daniel were working with with P2P and Probit, which we're still working with them, and the investors and everybody else. We had to remit a new coin or new token. All that has to take place. All those things have to take money to do. So that's why for the last month and a half, we were concentrating on doing just that to make sure that our members do not lose a penny from their wallets. That's why we're here tonight. We come tonight to not to only to introduce Dr. Pitts to our midst as a partner, but we also want to tell you what actually went on, because any 500 companies, the way they deal with things like that, when something happened in-house, what they do, they deal with it first and they find a solution. And after they find a solution, that's when they present it. Okay, here's what happened. We get the solution. Thank God now we are listed with P2P, with Fundex, where we can continue with our investors. We can continue with our members that have property that need to be funded. So we can all have a happy life. Now, the number one thing, like I said all the time, what we do, we fund the projects, we create liquidity, we eliminate the debt, and with the account that you have with us, we convert it for you as a retirement. Now, I just mentioned earlier, the funding or the pension program all over the world is around $3.6 trillion. What they do, all that money is invested in real estate. $3.6 trillion is invested only in real estate or properties. Now, you become a homeowner, you have your property clear of debt, plus you have your asset, which is the Fundex or UBES that you have. You're going to transfer it through the bridge to Fundex, so you can use as schedule, we call it. Why as schedule? Because we're going to have a certain amount that you can use, just like the banks. How the bank do it? Let's say you have $1 billion in the bank. You have a minimum or maximum that you can move per day. You see? It's the same thing. We're not going to do it per day. We're going to do it either per month or per quarter. But you're going to have the same access, which means you have your wallets, you have your information, your coins in your wallet, you can use it. You have a maximum amount that you can use maybe per quarter. Now, based on what we have, that's why we're creating alliances and partnership with different companies that have ATM card that can insert our UBETs or Pendex into Fundex into that account or for that in that card. You'll be able to use that card, but whether it's a month, per month, or per quarter, we're going to add that to that particular account that you can use it for that quarter until the next one we can add every time to it. That can be your account, your retirement, you see? And plus everything else that we have with Dr. Pitts here, we can put that all together that can create another avenue for all our members. And this is the reason why that when we find out what Dr. Pitts is doing, because he's been doing it for 6 years, we're fairly new, but he's been out there for 6 years. He has, as he mentioned, over 90,000 members on his platform. You see that? So we have over 96,000 followers, but he has over 90,000 members. There's a big difference there. But at the same time, if we were to put those two together, we can create a machine, you see, to benefit every single member. That's where we're going. We have other things that we will introduce to you guys or to our members very soon. Maybe by the end of the month, we will do that. But right now, we're working with some other partners who actually went over our platform and they love what we do. You see what we are doing. So they want to partner with us also. But the bottom line is, I want to make it clear to you guys, we are here to help every member. but you guys you need to understand to know where we are, why the delay that we have, what caused the delay, and now where we are right now as far as moving forward. You see, because thank God we're on the platform. Yes, we're on P2P. We're ready to move, and that's what we're doing. We just got there yesterday, as Mr. Daniel just mentioned. So we just have right now to start putting built in on P2P, so we can start selling, showing the investors where we are and how they can actually sell their tokens or coins, so that we can move forward. Okay. So I just want to be clear to everybody. It's not that we're ignoring everybody, because I mentioned it twice before, 2 different meetings, and say, please get in touch with other people that we have on the list that they can actually talk to when it comes to the project. Because I did not have the time, because I was focusing on your wallet. I was focusing on your project behind the scene to make sure that everybody or nobody lose a penny. And that's where we are right now. Okay. And Jacques right now, and I don't know if Mr. Pitts, Dr. Pitts, are you there? You have anything to add or anything you want to talk to us about? Okay, Mr. Daniel, anything that you think I missed that you want to cover?
I think you covered everything extremely well. I mean, we covered it from 2 different perspectives, I guess, you know, and so I think you nailed it. Again, there's a lot of details in everything that we're saying, guys. So again, you're getting the overview now as far as a swap and, you know, how the changing over the coins and how all that's going to work. Again, we'll be updating you guys now that we've gotten everything fixed on our side. We can come in confidently, you know, every week with updates and everything that we're doing now that we've corrected our path moving forward. So do look out for that. And again, if please, guys, do hop on our social channels. Those are very active daily. So do hop on there. To us on our Zoom meetings as well. We're getting up to about an hour here, Jack. So, you know, maybe we should let everybody get back to their families and we wrap this thing up for today. Can't hear you, Jax.
Sorry, I had my headset on mute. So we have a few questions. You guys got time for a few questions?
Yeah, let's take the top 3 today.
Okay. So one question I think has already been answered because someone wanted to hear about the compromise that was sent in the email. So I think between you 2 gentlemen, that was pretty much addressed. So I would hope that they got all the answers they need from that. It's unfortunate, but we're able to get things back on track. So and I have that question from several people. They're trying to figure out who they can reach to speak to about either their projects and you know, or if they have questions. Do you guys want to address that?
Okay, as far as for if they're already in, as for they have everything ready to go, they can speak with the assistant funder, and her name is Nancy. They can reach on the email ubetoken19@gmail.com. You can reach her at that email address, and then she will call or email you, and so she can communicate with you. And we also have Claudia is one of them, but I don't ask to call Laurie. Laurie is the actual funder, you see. So the funder is usually busy doing other things. But those 2, you have Nancy and Claudia. Those 2 are available to answer your questions, and you can email them, ubetoken19@gmail.com, and they will take care of any question that you may have. That's if you are ready, which means you have a property, you have the appraisal, you have the inspection, and you have your trust ready to go. because they already have those things, so they can answer that directly. Now, if you are in the Florida area, we have sheriffs, Joseph sheriffs. You can always contact them.
Okay, before you mentioned Joseph, sir, you said they could contact Nancy, Laurie, or Claudia at what's the
Not
email
Lori,
address?
but Claudia. Claudia and
Or not
Nancy.
Laurie, just Nancy and Claudia.
Yes. Well, in fact, if they send a message to that email, YouBetToken19, either one of those two will answer to the question. But now, keep in mind that you have to have your file ready to go.
Okay, so that's the email that I'm gonna send that to the chat room. They could contact Nancy and Claudia at youbettoken19@gmail.com.
Yes.
Okay, and that's for people for questions about projects that are in process.
In process, exactly.
Okay, so let me make sure I put that in there so they have it. Okay. Okay, just send it to everybody. Okay, great. Now, one question I just saw pop up, it just popped up, but I just want to answer it real quick. So basically, these meetings that we're having, they're going on our YouTube channel. So all you have to do is go to YouBet Token channel. If you go on YouTube, you search for YouBet Token channel, and the meetings will be there. So now what you need to do is first subscribe to that channel. And after you subscribe to that channel, then you click on the little bell next to that, and it'll give you 3 options, and pick all. And then anytime something gets posted on the channel, you will have it there available to you. What will happen is, as soon as it comes on, it will send you a notification on your phone or whatever platform you use, what's your phone or your tablet or iPad or whatever. So the meetings are getting posted after we have them. We put them up there, just like you're seeing us now. It'll be available for you to view. Okay, I mean, am I right about that, Matthew?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, and in addition, not just the meetings are up there, but many other announcements, information, and different educational and informational things about the platform. So let's get a couple of questions out the way. So we got one question is, what is the 10% based on? I guess I'm assuming the 10% on a project. Is it A, based on the amount you spent on coins, or B, the value of your wallet based on the wallets of the coin? So
Very, very important question. The 10% is based on the price of your project. Let's say you want to purchase a house for $400,000. Plus you have a car for, let's say, 50,000, that would be 450. Plus you have student loans of 250, for example. That will give you a total of $700,000, right? So your project will be 700,000. So you need to have 10% of that, which is $70,000. Once we have that 10% in cryptocurrency, which is Pendex, and you'll be approved, because the great thing about this is that myself being a mortgage banker, I'm telling you that the banks, when you go to the bank to get a loan, they ask you to have perfect credit, perfect income, but none of those things qualifies you. That's not what they use to qualify you. They use that to eliminate you. You see the difference? And you need to understand that. In blockchain, we don't need all those things to qualify you. Once you have the minimum amount, which is the 10%, to qualify, you qualify. Now, while we're in there, it's very important for us to know one point about our project. We have a special program for the first responders. Who are the first responders? Our first responders are the nurses, the doctors, the firemen, the policemen, the city workers, county workers, state workers, and the regular veterans like Army, and all those guys. They also participate in that. We have a special program for them. They can come in with 5%, because we call them first responders. Because myself, as an employee of the federal government. I used to work for the Navy. You see, I was not in the Navy. I was a civil servant for the Navy, or with the Navy. Okay, I worked for them for 12 years. I do not have any benefit that the veterans have. Now, I think that it is a good thing for us to have something for everybody that work for the government, because they work for us. Because if we need something at the city, they have to help us, whatever it is. If we need anything done at the county, they have to help us out. The nurses, if there's the first thing that whatever goes to the country, they are there to help us. So we see all those guys, all those people, we create a bowl for them, and we put them all in there as first responders. And we have that special program for them. Okay? And which is different than what everybody else is doing. The bank said they're going to give them a loan 100%, but if they miss 3 payments, they're going to foreclose on them. Our project or our platform, there's no foreclosure clause on anybody's property. You see that? So that makes a big difference. So that's why we have this program for them, because we don't believe, okay, that anybody that works for the government should lose their homes. That's what we believe in. Okay, Jack?
Okay, so let me try to run through a couple more questions. Someone had a question about what type of trust that we should have. Can you?
Well, the trust is a family revocable trust. It's not irrevocable, revocable trust.
Okay. All right. And so I think that we had a few other questions related to funding. And I think you addressed that, talking about the compromise. So one question is, if you don't have a project pending, how do we transfer our UBETS to Fundex coins?
Okay, if your project is not ready for funding, you're okay. You don't have to transfer now until you're ready for your project. Remember, this platform is geared for project. We're not there for people to come in and make money and run. No, it's for project. That's how we as a company make money. If there's no project, we don't make money. I'm just trying to be clear. I don't get paid if there's no project. You see, now we are listed right now in P2P. We're going to be relisted in ProBid. We are also listed in Binance. If you want to purchase UBETS at Binance, at P2P, and at ProBid, that's fine. Because you are not coming and you say you have a project, which means you're going to go to those exchanges and purchase UBETS at the regular price. If you go in there right now, the price is $350. You're going to purchase it at $50 at $350. There's no benefit. There's no discount, right? But now let me say something else. We expect our coin to be higher than Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin is around $16,000. It's around 15.5. We expect it to be more. Why? Because our token is backed by a real asset, which is the house. Whereas we have Bitcoin is only backed by technology. Yes, Bitcoin been out there since for 12 years, roughly, right? And we just new to the system. But it's okay. Why? Because more closings that we do, the value of the coin will go higher. It's that simple. And that's why we need you. We need you to come with your projects, because more projects that we close, it is in our advantage. So don't think that we ignore you, we put you aside. No. Every single project that we close is in our advantage. So we want to close you so that way we can go higher in value. Now, which means the person that come and go to the exchange and purchase the coin directly to trade, yes, they're going to make money. But if you come with a project, it's better for us. Definitely.
Okay, and I'm going to I'm gonna send out to everyone the our website, which is fundaone.co.uk, because that's one of the requests from one of our agents. So let me send that out real quick. Okay, so it should be out there. You guys can pull that up and run from there. Let me throw out a couple more questions. We're almost running out of time, so let me go down the list. So question was, I think you mentioned that a little bit, but if you could expand on that, is are we on Binance, DEX, and I guess yeah, how is it with this new transition? How does that impact on Binance DEX platform?
Okay, very good. That's a very good question. Now, since Binance DEX is a different platform, right? It's not connected to the decentralized system, which means to the Ether platform. So those guys that came in and did the damage, they are connected in that in the Ether platform. Now with Binance, they cannot touch it. So at Binance, we still UBETs, right? We still UBETs. We're going to continue to be UBETs while we're working with them on the background, trying to fix that. We're going to fix it, but it will take us a little time. Just like right now, as you know, when we announced that we were going to go on Binance, it took us almost 9 months to be on there. The restrictions that they have is a lot more than any other exchanges. Why? Because they're special. What they do is a little bit different, right? But we're going to be on there. We're going to change it on there also. Now, as far as Probit has also more restriction because they give you or us more opportunities. That's why right now they're still not fighting with us, but they still want to make sure that all their members that purchase UBETs, every single one of them is compensated, which we don't have a problem with. The only problem that we have is for us to give them the actual value that we had at that day, on that day or at that time. We don't want to give that value because it was $305. We only give them value that they purchased it at, which was around 13 cents.
So I guess, have we started trading on either platform? That's a follow-up question from
on Ether?
Someone else. Yeah. Are
we are on our Ether platform.
Okay. So has the coin started to actually start trading on either
trading
platform?
On P2P.
Okay.
Like I said, we just got listed yesterday.
Okay, awesome. And that's great news to know. That's
why we have the meeting today, because we want to make sure that we are listed before we announce it. Why?
Okay.
Because if we were to do that last week before we got listed, most of our members will panic. Now they're going to say, well, what's going on? No. That's why, like I mentioned earlier, most companies, they don't, when something happened within the company, they do not announce it right at that time until they fix the problem. That's when they announce it and say, okay, here's where we're going now. And that's exactly what we do. Now, we had to go based on the advisement that we received from our attorney, of course, from the board, to say, okay, you guys pause for a minute. Let's fix this. We need to fix it first before we say anything. And that's why we came out today to make sure that we officially let everybody know where we are and where we're going.
Okay. So one quick follow-up. People, Nancy, Laurie, they're for everywhere, right? Because
of course.
One question was, is Nancy for Boston? So both of these people are available to everyone everywhere.
Yes. Okay. Let me fix that. Nancy, Claudia, and Laurie, they work for the investors. They are the funders. They don't really work for us, you see? Because they are the one that controlling the funds. They're the one that make sure the paperwork's are okay with their attorney, so they can send the documents out to the title company, to escrow company, to the attorneys to make sure everything is correct. That's what they do. Now, since we were going through that crisis or that issue with the exchanges, we asked them for help. If they can help us with the clients or the members that already have a project in play, which means in the queue. Now, they were voluntarily said, okay, we're going to help you guys out since they're already in the queue to be funded. We're going to deal with them while you guys try to fix the issue that you have. And that's basically what they did. Now, if anybody, any member who has their project ready to go, yes, they're going to be dealing with them, because once they receive or they upload the appraisal, the inspection, and the trust, they can see that on the email, the UBET token 19 at Gmail. They actually change it and move it to their side so they can follow up with the title company and everybody else. That's the way it works.
Okay. Now, the follow-up to what you were talking about, the first responders. So the follow-up is there a discount for first responders? That was one of the questions that came up.
First responders, yes.
Okay. Let me see. There was one question I've seen several times. Wanted to make sure. So I think somebody was asking about the YouTube link channel. So I could put it up on the screen again.
Yes, you can go on and put it up.
Basically, go to YouTube. Give me one quick second. Let me pull it up and have it up there. But basically, when you go to YouTube, all right, I'm putting it up on the screen. Quick second. Oh, okay, there he goes. That's the problem. All right, so when I put it up on the screen, the what you will see here is you have on YouTube right here. So when you go to your YouTube, all you have to do is type UBET token channel in the search bar. And when you do that, then you will see the UBET page. Okay. Now, you see, when you see here UBET token, wherever you see any one of these tokens, you just click on it. It'll take you to the main page. And right there, I'm already subscribed, so I'm unsubscribing myself. I'm going to subscribe myself again. You click on the red button. You click on the bell, and here you are. That's all you need to do. And anytime this video and other member meeting videos that we have will be available to you to be able to see the videos that we have on the channel. Okay, so I think that's more. There's less. There are other questions, but a lot of them are very similar. So here's one thing, and then you could help me out with that. Said there are different. There's a lot of questions that people are asking. Okay. There's a lot of questions that people are asking that have to do with their personal files. And so once again, we cannot answer your personal questions with 100 and some people on the line, okay? Because there's a lot of details that we have to figure out, and that would take another few hours, okay, to address each individual questions. But one thing that I keep seeing popping up, and you could address that, is I keep seeing popping up that people don't know who to speak to. So, correct me if I'm wrong. My understanding that the first person they would go deal with is their agent. Would that be correct? Their UBET's agent. Would that be correct?
Well, yes, if they have one. If they don't have one, what we're working on right now is try to. I mentioned that I think 2 months ago, or the last two meetings, we're working on trying to put up other at least 2 agents in each area. Why we say 2? Because the volume that we have in different states requires 2 people to actually answer questions. Now, one of the things that me and you, Jacques, we talk about that several times about training. We're going to do a training for to equip the agents better, because I think that's one of the major problems that we have. Because since they don't have, or they don't, some of them don't want to read, or some of them don't, for whatever reason, and we think that by giving the training to them, that will help them to be more or better equipped to deal with whatever situation there is. Because remember, one thing that I say it out clear every time, is that we are dealing with blockchain and cryptocurrency. That's what we're dealing with. That's what gives us the opportunity to do what we do, okay? And since it's cryptocurrency and blockchain, and most of the time the question that we have, the members try to drag us into the fiat platform. You see that? Which is a little bit different. I mean, it's not even a little bit, it's very different between the fiat platform and the cryptocurrency or blockchain platform, you see? Now, the second we try to get into that fiat system, there's so many disclosures, so many things that we have to do. That's why the banks loves it, because they keep us in the dark, so we don't understand what's going on. We don't know what's going on, you see? So in ourselves, since from school, from the kindergarten to now, that's how we're trained, right? We think by going to the fiat system is the best, but it's not, because the fiat system created debt, and in the blockchain platform, eliminate the debt for you. It's totally different. It will take a little time for us as people to understand that. It will take a little time. Just like right now, we see how Bitcoin is going higher, higher and higher. You see every government agency is trying to get into the blockchain system. Why? Because they see the opportunity, but now they want to get into it before we get deeper in it, right? But it's too late, because we have a lot of the projects within the blockchain system that eliminate that. Just like if you go and type in, go on YouTube and type tokenization, you'll find at least 3, 4, 5 different companies that are doing tokenization. But the way they are doing tokenization is totally different than the way we do it. You see? Now, when the way they do it, they use the property, let's say a $30 million, I'll give you an example that they have on YouTube right now, a $30 million property, which is a commercial property. They tokenize it, they create the token, they sell the tokens first, you see? And the owner of the building is not the owner anymore, because if they were to raise the $30 million with 30 million clients who bought the coin, which means the 30 million people own the building. You don't own it outright, because just like everybody buy bits and pieces of it. Whereas the way we do our platform is totally different. It's the same way that banks fund or give loans, as they call it, right? Because that's why we say the banks monetize the property. In our platform, we tokenize it. That's the only difference. That's the only difference. We tokenize, the banks monetize. So when they monetize, they create a debt and they're making a bunch of money on it, right? And they don't give you a penny. Whereas when we tokenize it, we tokenize the property for you. Whereas the bank monetize the property for them. You see the difference? So that's why you don't see any penny. And that's why they want you to get to paying back. But now, remember now, when you're paying back, you're not paying back the bank. That's why you don't catch. You think you're paying back the bank, whereas you're not. You're paying another collection agency that purchased the paper for pennies on the dollar. You see, I say it right. They purchased the paper, not the house, because the house is already paid for. Because the banks, they got their money. They're gone. And when they foreclose, if they were to foreclose, that collection agency is doing the foreclosure. And they're saying on the foreclosure document, you give them the authorization to sell the property for you. It's not a foreclosure, it's a sale. You give them the authorization. Why? Because on your deed of trust, they insert that in there. If you miss so many payments, they say you authorize them to sell it for you. That's why if you were to read the documents from the courthouse, if they're going to foreclose on you, you would say that you, the trustor, give him the authorization. Because since you are the trustor, since you are the originator of this instrument, they cannot sell your house. You are the only one that can give him the authorization. And that's what the document's saying. That's why I say all the time, the banks do not lie to us. The only problem that we have is that we do not read the documents. They send you the document on the foreclosure, since you think, or I'm not saying you think, since you know you missed the payments, you think they're going to foreclose, the bank going to take the property. But if you were to read that document that they sent to you that you never respond to, you say something totally different. You say you authorize them to sell it for you. And that's what we call foreclosure. You see that? So all we want to do, we want our people to start reading. Now, with our platform, you don't have to do a whole lot of that. You have to read the documents, yes. But at the same time, you need to understand what we're doing. What we're doing is we tokenize the property, we create the liquidity, and then we eliminate the debt for you. And that's what the platform says. Nothing different. We don't create debt. We eliminate debt. And that's what we do.
Thank you, Sid. So in closing, so basically we look forward, if you're an agent, look forward to hear from Sid and myself. We'll be working on getting everyone that are agents trained so that they can provide a better service to the members, to respond to everyone on every one of their issues. You know, is very difficult. So that's why we have the agents. That's why we're trying to make sure that all the agents know the process, understand the process, and that would, in particular, that would allow us to focus on dealing with the investors so that we can make sure you get funded. But in the meantime, your process will be set up properly. At this time, we have gone beyond our allotted time. So we're going to thank everyone for being present. I don't know if Sid has any last words you want to say. You want me to go ahead and close, or did you have anything else?
Well, the only thing I can say that we thank you very much, all the members, for participating on our platform, and we have great things ahead of us. We have Dr. Pitts that has 11 companies and different things that he want to bring to the table that we all can use, and aside from what we do here. And we want to say we're very sorry about what happened within our platform, that we have people that have the nerves actually to come in and jeopardize actually the system, which we had to go backward and try to fix and for us to move forward, which is okay, because better now, because can you imagine? And it were to be next year that everybody have their money, making money, and everybody we're so busy counting our monies, and they come in and do something like that. There's absolutely no way we could see it. But people, when you're stealing, in general, people that are stealing, they are stupid at times. You see, because they try to get it early, and that's greed. They try to get paid early, make a quick buck, and that's how we cut them. Thank God we cut them right on time. And we eliminate them so we don't have to, thank God, worry about that anymore. So now it's time for us to move on and to better things.
All right. Thank you, and thank you to everyone. We know your time is precious, and we know quite a few of you are looking to get your projects funded and to move forward, and that is what we aim to do. So we ask you to keep working with us, and we'll keep addressing the issues, and we'll keep doing the things we need to do to keep growing. And we will see you in our next meeting. Thank you, and have a wonderful night.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you.